Hey guys, it's Jackie from Jack Gets Lost on a Book Haul, and if you watched my previous video, I talked about, I looked at all the characters from the Gotham universe, and looked at ones that have the good and the bad traits of each of those characters. But I didn't look at all of them. The video was getting too long, so I decided I need to film a part 2 to this. Because there are a lot of characters, and I hope you guys don't mind me talking about this. I mean, technically it kind of is book related because these characters were originally from a graphic novel. So like I said, it kind of is book related. So let's see. The last character I talked about was Bruce, aka Batman. Let me see, is there anything else I can cover? I don't think there's anything else I can say. It's so hard, actually. This is surprisingly hard, but I thought it was kind of fun. It'd be a very entertaining video. Hopefully I'm not wrong in that. So I hope you guys don't mind. Well, I guess it'll depend on how many views these videos get. But I'm kind of experimenting a little bit, trying to do different types of videos, trying to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Now that we've done, let's talk about, well, why don't we go ahead and talk about Bruce's butler, Alfred Pennyworth. Alfred is very loyal. He's a good guy, and who doesn't like a guy with a British accent? I mean, come on. British accent. That is very attractive. But yeah, so he is a good, Alfred is a very good guy. He's very honorable, and he's loyal to Bruce, and he loves him like a father to a son. He really cares about him. Unfortunately, if you're caught up with the season, if you've seen trailers in the White Band trailer, then Alfred's being put through the punches. He's gone through a lot. He's like Gotham's version of Alfred has been through hell, and he's. I feel bad for the guy, and he's gonna have PTSD as much as Bruce will. I feel like after what he's been through, especially if you're caught up and see what's gonna happen to him in the next episode, the last 2 episodes. I mean, that is gonna screw him up. I think him and Bruce are gonna have to help each other, not just him helping Bruce, but I think he's also gonna have to. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything if you're not caught up yet. But he loves Bruce. He really cares about him, which is definitely a positive. And he's someone that, okay, well, I think I already covered that. He's loyal, and he loves Bruce, and he's a good guy, and granted he's a butler, but I think he probably has this is a decent job. He probably gets paid well by Bruce and his parents. And probably by his parents too, this isn't really, being a butler for one of the founding families of Gotham, I imagine that you do really well with that job. So let's, now, the problem is, his job required, because of the way Bruce is, how he's kind of Gotham's savior, Gotham's Dark Knight, that so that makes his job really tough, and he can also be put in danger. Like, again, if you're caught up, he gets put through quite the punches, he's been he goes through a lot, so his life is always as much in danger as anyone else's on this show. Especially because he's the butler of Bruce Wayne. And a lot of people are after Bruce Wayne. So, unfortunately, the job requires him to put his life on the line constantly. But he also has military experience in the show. I don't know if that's how it is in the original. I don't remember. I don't remember if that's how it is in the comics or not, if that's mentioned or not. But as far as Gotham, they say that he was in the military one time. That might have been one of those things where the writers of Gotham were trying to explain why. I'm trying to give Alfred more of an interesting backstory and explain why he's working for the Waynes and everything like that. So, really, there are a lot of negatives about Alfred, except for that's a pretty big negative. But it is a pretty big negative that his life is always put in danger. And especially because he's so loyal to Bruce. And let's see, anything else under negative? And like I said, the way what's going on, the punches he's been put through in the show, again, he will probably go through a PSTD as much as Bruce will. Which is all I'm gonna say, because if you're not caught up, then I don't want to spoil it for you. Is there any other negatives? I don't know. I can't think of. Besides that, I can't think there's any. Like, his personality is really likable. He's very charming and sweet, and he's caring. So he has a lot of good traits. So really, it's just the fact that his life is always constantly put on the line. So you're constantly worried about the guy. Okay, so, let's see. Next, let's talk about, I'm trying to think. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk about Lucius Fox. The problem with him, though, is I don't know a lot about him, but I'm running out of good guys to talk about. There's a lot more bad guys, at least in on the show Gotham right now, that aren't girls. Because, like I said, I am a straight woman, so I'm sticking to guys right now. But like I said, if you want me to look at the female characters, then I will. But anyway, so Lucius Fox, there's not much to know about him. He's also a smart person. He's also very loyal. He helps out Bruce a lot, making his toys and stuff for him. So he's good with technology. But I don't know if that's enough of a trait to make him dateable. That would make you interested. I mean, it might. It could be something that you like about him. Which I do, I mean. And he's also, again, he has very snarky sense of humor on the show. And he's another character that I feel like is very attractive. And as you can see, attractive is, I'm saying that about all the characters, basically. But it's, I mean, I find, I'm a girl and I do think about, the looks and stuff too. That's my more shallow side. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. It's hard because I don't know a lot about the character. I mean, I would probably know a lot more if I read the comics, which, like I said, that's my goal. And if you watched my previous video, I told you that I'm going to have my friend buy me some no, I won't make her buy the graphic novels. I'll buy them myself, but I'm gonna have her pick them out for me, surprise me and pick them out, and then I'll pay for and I'll buy them. Okay, so I don't know what else to say about the character. I don't even know if there's any negatives. I guess again he's another character that his life could be put in danger because his Batman's enemies know that he makes his toys, So yeah, okay, now, these last three are bad guys, because, well, like I said, I'm sticking to the male characters as of this video, because I'm attracted to men. Really hope the fact that I keep repeating that doesn't offend anyone. I hope it doesn't bother anyone. So the next three are all bad guys. Okay, so the next one is Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter is... I'm trying to think of the positives. I mean, he's very loving. He loves his sister in a very inappropriate way, but he's very loving, and I feel like he's loyal in a way, I think. He also has, his abilities are actually really cool. As long as you're not a victim of it. Seeing him being able to control people, and as long as you aren't the victim, it's actually kind of fascinating how he controls people. And then I know that in the original eventually he will move up to the cards, the deck of cards. That's how he'll control people. And again, the actor who plays him is very attractive. Um, this is the problem. These next two guys, well, these last three guys, there's not a lot of positives. Especially the very last guy I'm going to mention, and he's one that I'm going to put last because he's a fan favorite, and if you still haven't figured out what I'm talking about, well then, but, yeah, so I don't know if there's any positives. Like I said, he's loving, but it's very demented kind of love, and like I said, the power's kind of cool, as long as you're not a victim of his power. And he's another character that's a sharp dresser. Okay, so I don't know what else to say. And I'm not going to even talk about Mr. Freeze, by the way, because there's nothing about, except for maybe Mr. Freeze is really smart. But I'm not a huge fan, so I'm also kind of talking about characters that I'm more of a fan of. In Mr. Freeze, characters like Mr. Freeze, Solomon Grundy, the Doll Maker, are not characters that I'm like as into, so I will admit I'm talking about characters that are my favorites. I do like those characters, but they are interesting. But again, this is really, now I'm getting to the point where it's just getting really hard to find the positive with these characters. Getting to the point where I'm basically saying, well, they're smart and good looking. Okay, well, I don't know what else to say about Mad Hatter and Jervis Tetch. So, let's just go on to Scarecrow, Jonathan Crow, or what? I don't remember what his last name is anymore. Jonathan Crane, that's what it is, Crane. Well, he's a doctor. His father was a doctor, and he's a doctor, so he's probably, again, he's very well off. So you'll be well taken care of. And he could potentially take the fear away from it. Will be an extreme approach to getting rid of your fear, but that's his goal. So there's not entirely something wrong with that. It's his approach that's messed up. But you can understand he has decent his intentions. You can kind of get why he thinks that way, that you're better off without fear. But then if you don't have fear, then you'll get yourself killed. So, actually, you're not really better off with fear, but I can kind of understand why he thinks that, the logic behind it. Of course, all these characters, you can find some logic in their way of thinking. Except for one, which, like I said, I'm saving him for last. And with him, I don't even know if there's any positives whatsoever. But like I said, these last three, there's no positives. I feel like it's hard to pinpoint the positives. And unfortunately, he has this thing with wearing the Scarecrow costume, so you don't really see his face. But, again, like, the actor who plays him in Gotham, and the guy who played him in the Nolan movie, too, Cillian Murphy, both those guys are cute. Of course, it's not just it shouldn't just be about that, but like I said, it's hard to find good stuff. Hard to find the positives. But, like all the other Batman villains, he's crazy. So, okay. So, basically, let me just go ahead and get to that one character that I've been teasing you guys, and that is the Joker. And I'm not going to do any clever laugh or anything. I can't do that. My laughs always sound cartoonish. Specifically, like I said, this is the Gotham universe, the Gotham show, so I am talking about, specifically, Gotham's version of the Joker, aka Jerome Valeska and Jeremiah Valeska. Like I said, this is kind of a spoiler if you're not cut up. So, are there any positives? I don't know. I don't think there's any positives with this guy. Because he's clearly, like, one of them's a psychopath and one of them is a sociopath. I don't know which one is right, because I got them mixed up before. I think a psychopath is the one who's can be social, can pretend to be social, but in the end, you come to realize that he's very deranged. And then sociopath is someone that's like or I don't know. I think it might be the other way. I don't know. Someone needs to correct me because I can never remember which one is which. Well, like I said, good looking. He's good looking, but pre-scars when he's not scarred. Because as Jerome, after he gets killed, he ends up getting the scars like Heath Ledger's Joker. The cuts on his mouth that stretch his mouth a little bit, which does kind of hurt. And then he gets killed when he comes after he dies twice. Jerome does, and then when he's brought back, his cult of followers bring him back from the dead. But because he doesn't wake up right away, the guy who runs the cult, he cuts off Jerome's face and puts it on himself like a mask, which that is so gross. Ugh. Yeah, that's just so gross. And then, like, Jerome wakes up and does not forgive him for stealing his face, and then uses staples to staple it back on. I'm like, does that hurt? How does that not hurt? But, I mean, maybe he's so crazy that he doesn't feel anything. Like, he doesn't care. But it's like, yeah, then just that acid is so gross. But, and then, like, he but he has a disturbing sense of humor that can also be, as long as you're not on the end of it, it's kind of funny. Well, okay, it's not really funny when he kills people, but still, I mean, like, as a Batman fan, you know. But then maybe there's something, if you find him funny, then maybe there's something wrong with, if I find him funny, then maybe there's something wrong with, maybe I'm a little deranged myself. And he's also very intelligent. He's very smart. I mean, he's crazy, but he's actually highly smart, I feel like. And then, of course, so is his brother, Jeremiah. Jeremiah's like a genius. He's a diabolical genius. Now, like I said, the whole the bleached face kind of ruins it a little bit as far as attractiveness goes. But I can look past that. Yeah, I look past that. Especially because of who he's played by in the TV show, in Gotham. Let's see, what else? What else can we say about his character? He's, like I said, he's very intelligent. He's made he is just as smart as Bruce and Lucius Fox, I feel like, which is, unfortunately, he uses his genius for evil intentions, but he doesn't see them as evil, which makes them all the more disturbing. Really, he's just a fun character to watch, so really, you might not date him at all, but he's such a fun and fascinating character, and you just from a distance, because we're just watching him on the TV, on the screen, and he's not real as far as we know, although I'm sure a lot of the Batman villains are kind of somewhat inspired by real life serial killers. But let's see. I don't think there's anything positive about him. It's so hard. I mean, when we first meet the character of Jerome, he seems very sweet and stuff, but then, of course, you realize by the end of the episode that he's a deranged psychopath who killed his mom. So, is there any positive? I don't think there is. There's nothing positive. He's not dateable. He's definitely, he's abusive to Harley Quinn in the comics. I know that. In the animated show, so, of course, they wouldn't put that in the animated show, but they do have it in the comics. So that, he's definitely not, you don't want to have an abusive boyfriend, so yeah, but I thought it would be fun to look at. So, I guess that's all I have to say. Like I said, it's very hard. Like I said, and if you want me to look at the female characters, then I will make a video about the female characters. So, I hope you found this video entertaining. I know you're, again, like I said in the previous video, you're probably thinking, what the hell, why would you date any of those characters? But it's more like I was just doing this for fun, kind of looking at these characters and thinking, are there any positives about them? Are there any things that make them dateable, make them appealing as far as a boyfriend, being your boyfriend? So if you like this video and were entertained by my thoughts, and don't think something's wrong with me for liking these characters in this way, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and click subscribe if you haven't already, and, if you like, and to my current followers, I really hope you continue to, I really hope, despite me saying that some of the Batman characters are dateable, you still continue to follow me. And love you guys. Alright, bye.